So as expected, Bradford City have just been embarrassed once again in the Yorkshire Derby against Harrogate Town, and in today's video I'll bring you guys my thoughts and opinions on the game. If you do go on to enjoy, please make sure to drop a like on there for me. If you could try and hit 80 likes on today's video, that'd be massively appreciated. Subscribe if you're new as well. We're now on the road to 9,000 subscribers, so please make sure you are subscribed if you haven't already, with that post notification bell on. It's free to do so and it does massively help out. Get your thoughts in as well down in the comment section down below on today's defeat. What a disgrace, an absolute disgrace. Every single one of them players near enough should be disgusted with themselves. Harrogate's form recently has been terrible, and yet they have completely ran us ragged from minute 1 to 90. Game plan, tactics, all over the place. Today was an absolute joke. I mean, when the lineup came out at 12 o'clock today, you look at it and you think, what on earth is Graham Alexander doing? Is he genuinely trying to get himself sacked by this team selection? He's dropped Kieran Kelly down to the bench. Matty Platt's come back into the starting 11, which is something that I agreed with. But you've still got Daniel Yagoke in there, who is an absolutely horrible footballer. We're going to get onto him because he was terrible once again today. Liam Rideout starts at left centre-back as well. He had a big part to play in Harrogate's first goal. And I just don't understand it. When we've only got 2 fit and available centre-halves, why are we not playing a back 4? That doesn't make sense. I understand Platt might not be able to play the full game because obviously he's recently recovered from a hamstring injury, but it doesn't make sense. Why are we playing square pegs in round holes when we've got the square pegs to play in the square holes? It just simply does not make sense. But the lineup then was the 3-4-3 formation with Sam Walker in goal, a back 3 of Daniel Yagoke, Matty Platt and Liam Rideout, with Brad Halliday at right wing back, Lewis Richards at left wing back. You had Kevin McDonald and Richie Smallwood in the middle, obviously Gilead not available due to injury, and a front 3 of Jamie Walker, Tariq Wright and Andy Cook. The bench was looking a little bit light, if I'm honest with you. On there you had Kieran Kelly, Harry Chapman, Bobby Poynton, Adam Wilson, Noah Wadsworth, Colin Doyle and Tyler Smith. And in terms of Harrogate's formation, they were going with a slightly similar formation. They went with the 3-5-2 according to the Sky Sports app. In goal they had James Belshaw with a back 3 of former Bantam Anthony O'Connor, Rod McDonald and former Bantam Matty Folds. Their midfield 5 was Burrell, former Bantam Levi Sutton, Dooley, former Bantam Matty Daly and Civi, and up front they had Josh March and George Thompson. So they were pretty similar lineups. I'm pretty sure iFollow had them down as a 4-2-3-1, but we all know Matty Folds is decent enough to play as that left-sided centre-half. I thought Anthony O'Connor had an absolutely outstanding game at centre-half for Harrogate Town, but as decent as what Harrogate were, we were an absolute disgrace. We started out the first 5 or 10 minutes or so pretty positively. We had a few corners, but Harrogate take the lead. There's a throw-in, I think, over on the far side, certainly from the iFollow angle, down our left side, and for some reason Rideout gets completely blocked off. They're allowed a free cross into the box. I think Richard should track his man better, if I'm honest with you. The cross comes into the box and Josh March gets his first Harrogate Town goal because Daniel Yagoke decides, even though he's a centre-half, he doesn't want to head the football. I mean, it's a good cross and it's a good header, but it's far, far too easy. As a professional footballer who's meant to be a decent defender, you know, an upcoming youngster for Brentford, it's not like he's 18 years of age anymore. You obviously cannot allow the striker to run across you like that. You've got to get your body in front of him and make sure that if he gets anywhere near the ball, you're then in front of it to block it. But no, he allows him a free header, far too weak, absolutely piss poor from Daniel Yagoke, who once again had an absolute shocking game. We had an opportunity to get back into it as well. McDonald shoots from distance, it's blocked by Anthony O'Connor. Tariq Wright has a tap in from maybe 8-10 yards out on his right foot. He passes it straight to the goalkeeper. Catch in practice, an absolutely pathetic strike from a pathetic footballer. I'm done with Tariq right now. Not only does he lack quality, but he doesn't look interested, and so do many other players, but Tariq Wright specifically, he doesn't look arsed, and that is simply unacceptable. The remainder of the first half was piss poor. We offered absolutely nothing, really, really poor, created nothing. We couldn't even string 2 or 3 passes together, and another wind wasn't particularly great today. I think Harrogate were playing into the wind in the first half, and it did benefit them slightly, but we just simply could not pass the football, and we've got some really, really good plays in there, but McDonald barely even got the ball in that first half. If we're going to try and get the ball on the deck and play football, McDonald, you got to play through him because he's one of the best technical midfielders in this division. But we weren't. We were going long, and then really surprised when the ball wasn't falling directly on Andy Cook's head because either the wind was pulling it back or making it go over. Harrogate's pitch is pretty small. You have to play intricate football if you're going to get it down on the deck, and we couldn't do that because we've got players who first touches are like trampolines. If they weren't like a trampoline, then there was no movement, there was no options for the runs, and it was really, really poor. Into the second half, nothing really happened for the first 15 minutes, and then we made a triple substitution. We went to a back four. I believe Kieran Kelly came on for Matty Platt. I think Liam Rideout came off for Adam Wilson, and Jamie Walker came off for Bobby Poynton, and we went to the 4-2-3-1, and again, didn't really offer much. I had no idea how Oyegoke was still on the pitch, and Tyreek Wright as well. Both of them were absolutely terrible. There has to be some sort of clause in their loan agreement that says they have to play, or we've got to pay more money, basically, because they're both terrible. They're both absolutely useless, as are a lot of other players, but these two specifically we're going to be talking about because they're on loan and no one else in the starting 11 was. I don't even think anyone else on the bench is someone who's here on loan, and they're playing. But why? What's the point? The season is clearly done, so why are we playing other teams' players and developing other teams' players when we've got our own, like Noah Wadsworth, who came on for his Bradford City debut and was absolutely brilliant in central midfield, playing out of position. Then Harrogate get a penalty, which is dispatched by George Thompson, an absolutely outstanding penalty, to be fair. Do I think it's a spot kick? I think it's harsh. Halliday's gone to lower his body shape because the attacker's trying to take him on 1v1 and he just kicked it out of his hand. He can't really do much about it, but I feel like if it was the other way around, I would probably be appealing for a penalty, so I'm not going to complain too much about that. And the penalty is an absolutely outstanding strike, straight into the top corner. Sam Walker dives the other way. He has absolutely no chance. And the thing that frustrated me the most, the own goal that Daniel Oyegoke scored. A cross comes into the box. I don't know if it's McDonald or Kelly. One of them misses a header. A ball comes into the box. And Oyegoke, he's got a man behind him, but he's not really under too much pressure. He just sticks it into the back of the net. I don't even have words to describe how bad he is. We have had some shocking footballers at Bradford City over the years, as I'm sure you're all aware, but Daniel Oyegoke is right up there for me. I think he spoke about, when he signed for the football club, about goldfishes. He's got the footballing ability of a goldfish. He wouldn't start for Bradford City's disability team. He is an absolute disgrace. He's a defender who can't defend. He's much better going forward than what he is defensively, because he's hopeless defensively, positionally, all over the place, can't head the ball, can't really pass it. He's decent at dribbling sometimes and can put good crosses into the box, but defensively he's absolutely hopeless, and we just always look like conceding. We've conceded another 3 goals today, and Sam Walker comes away from the game with one of the very few players come away from it with real credit, because he made again another 2 or 3, maybe even 4 really, really good saves. But again, we can't be relying on our goalkeeper bailing us out when we're shipping goals in for fun and we can't score. And yes, Graham Alexander has to take some blame for this, because like I said, when we announced him and he got a 3-year contract, Ryan Sparks gave him a 3-year contract. We've got 2 more years and a little bit more of Graham Alexander football. Are you going to be renewing your season ticket to watch Graham Alexander football for the next 2 years? No. We all knew that giving Graham Alexander a long-term contract was never going to work, but Ryan Sparks loves giving out long-term contracts to people who have proven time and time again that they simply do not deserve it. It was great to finally hear some anti-Sparks chants in that away end today. It was great to hear some more Rupp out chants as well. There has to be protest now. There simply has to be, because yes, Alexander and the players need to take blame for it, but who's appointed this manager? Who's part of recruiting these players? Who is not investing the money to allow us to not sign better footballers? The money that we have got is being spent atrociously on some absolutely terrible footballers, and it starts from the top. Rupp needs to sell the football club. If he's not going to sell, then the first thing he has to do is sack Ryan Sparks, because he's absolutely out of his depth. Stephen Gent, he can go as well. So can Graham Alexander, and so can 95% of this squad as well. The phrase "mean that badge to you" was something that Aaron Challoner said, the Doncaster fan, and he gets a little bit of stick for it, but he's absolutely right. So many footballers do not care about the football clubs they're playing for, and that is the reality of it. They simply do not care. As long as they're picking up their couple of grand a week, it doesn't really matter to them what the result is. Most of them will go home tonight and probably not even think about the game, and that is not just a problem with football, but it's a culture thing, and Bradford City's culture is not there. There's no identity. The contrast in football from Alexander to Hughes is clear to see. Graham Alexander is not the man for Bradford City. We all knew that when he was appointed, because no one else really wanted to come to us, did there? Because you can see how much of a shambles that we are. We're an absolute disgrace of a football club. We'll get onto some player ratings very quickly. Sam Walker, again, one of the only real players to come away from the game with any real credit. I'll give him a 5. Daniel Oyegoke, 0. Absolutely useless. Matty Platt, I don't think was too bad. I'd probably give him a 4. Liam Rideout, not great. He gets a 2. Brad Halliday, don't think he was bad. Gives the penalty away. I'd probably give him a 3. Smallwood, I won't really say noticed him too much. Nearly scored a free kick. Probably gets a 3. McDonald barely got on the ball when he did. Didn't look too too bad, maybe a 3, 4, something like that. Lewis Richards offered absolutely nothing, 3. Jamie Walker offered nothing, he gets a 3. Tyreek Wright, useless, he gets a 1. Andy Cook worked hard, quality on the ball wasn't really there, I'll give him a 3. Substitutions, Kieran Kelly, I don't think he had a particularly great game, I don't think he was bad, probably give him a 3. Harry Chapman started out poor, then got better as the game went on, probably gets a 2 or a 3. Don't really care, if I'm honest with you. Bobby Poynton worked hard again, the quality wasn't really there, probably give him a 3. Adam Wilson, I thought, had a quite a poor game, he gets a 2. Noah Wadsworth, probably my man of the match, came on for like the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time for Kevin McDonald, playing out of position as a central midfielder, and was probably our best player on the pitch. He gets a 7 for me. I thought he had a really, really good game. Didn't give the ball away once, kept it very tidy, won the ball back on a few occasions, and looks like a really good young prospect. I want to see him start every game between now and the end of the season. I don't care where he starts, he has to play. He's much better than 95% of this squad. At the time of recording, there has been a tweet put out by the Bradford City Fans Independent Twitter account saying that they are planning a peaceful protest for Friday's game against Tranmere Rovers. Get involved in that if you want change at this football club. Change has to happen. It has to happen quick. This club is sleepwalking into the National League. There's no point getting into the summer, giving Graham Alexander time to build his team, and we're in the exact same position next season, if not worse, because nothing will change under this ownership, under this leadership from the board. It's an absolute disgrace, and it is time for change at Bradford City. This badge, it means something to me, it probably means something to you. What it doesn't mean something to is Ryan Sparks and Stefan Rupp. Get out of our football club.